I'll give them a second to get all their stuff together.
Or pen, please.
Oh.
It's got a lot of beautiful colors there.
My note-taking pens, although I'm trying out my laptop today.
I know, I have a doctor that he uses his computer
Usually it's the
and it
last
just records our whole
Thursday.
thing
I
and then
didn't
it
make
gives
the
me like a,
last
like
one.
while I'm
It's
there, it gives
just
me a
beat.
synopsis to my
I
my
just-
chart, I'm like,
yeah,
this is
it's
fabulous.
But anyway, that's my, you don't wanna hear that.
Okay.
No, but, so I think Rick said,
Does
since we
anyone need
had that one
copy of the
early, we're not
minutes?
going to
Do you
do
need
one
copies? Do you have
in-
copies?
I mean, March,
Mary?
but
I
we
have-
will be doing one in April, but I'll let you know.
The last Thursday.
Typically, it's the last
Okay,
Thursday.
I just wanna,
When will we be meeting somewhere else? Do we know?
When they tell us.
I mean, this is fine.
Yeah, I can,
Just, I was thinking,
Okay.
I sure, I should.
So the first thing on our agenda, we call to order, is we have to do an attendance, and if you all could let Leanne know who you are.
Dolores Ordway.
Susan Worth, Open Space, that's representing on this committee, yeah. Your history, right?
Historical
Yeah, right.
Commission,
Okay.
Lions Club.
Chris Barbera, Library, Facilities
She's-
Manager for the
or at
library.
large.
She's a member at large.
Mary Verderegen, member at large.
Obviously, Francois Steiger as part of the planning board.
I'm Danielle Kelly, and I'm a member at large too, and the chair. Do we have anyone here for public comments? Seeing none, I'm gonna go on. The next item is to meet our clerk. Does anyone have any questions for Leanne? Any suggestions? Are you thrilled to have her?
Yes, yay,
I
thank
am
you.
extremely thrilled to have her.
Thank you for coming, yeah.
My pleasure.
Do you,
It's a good idea.
have you been at a town that has has adopted CPC at all?
She lives in Hubbardston.
Oh. Do you have any experience with another town that has adopted CPC?
No, this is my first municipal job,
Okay.
so I'm learning a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh, that's good.
It's a wonderful thing, but it's the kind of thing that every time you think you know what's going on, oh, I just learned something new, you know, which is not a bad thing, but it can be challenging. But I'm going on and on.
No, you're fine.
But the coalition website is so
Yes.
helpful. Yeah, so, you know, even if, and Stuart.
Yep.
Spelled S-T-U-A-R-T, that's right.
Don't worry about it, that was,
Yeah, okay.
no, I have
Um,
sent you the link to the
yeah.
coalition website,
Yeah. Yeah,
and, you know, again, she's gonna help keep us on track and lift a lot of the administrative burden from us, but we're
There's
responsible
always
for
more to
running
learn.
and following the
Right,
CPA
right.
guidelines.
so welcome.
Thank you.
Long story short.
We've met you, hey. So next up would be approved minutes. And have you all had a chance to review them at all?
Yes. Has anybody else, well, on the first full paragraph, I think that maybe this is a typo. Because Stuart from Massachusetts, it's the CPC Coalition, CPAs, stated that funds cannot be used, they can.
Can be.
He stated
My
that,
apologies.
because that makes like all the difference in
You're
the
right,
world.
it does, and I apologize for
thought,
that. I
oh,
was-
I hope she's not under, thinking that, because,
So it can be used, right?
It can be used,
Yeah.
versus
So-
the library, yes.
yeah. So that was hopefully a typo,
And Stuart
or you
is
heard something
STUAR.
wrong, and
Yeah,
she,
and there's a one,
No, it was
there's one on the fourth line
listening
too.
to the meeting
it's
and
hard.
we all go off on tangents.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it is challenging to
Yeah.
try to keep
Okay.
everything
Right.
and write it up in a concise way so that
Exactly, but I got to that point and I said, no, that was kind of the
I
whole
apologize
point,
for
that
that.
Danielle presented what he had said.
Yep.
And he was the key to the right wording too.
And again, Stuart is lovely, huge wealth of knowledge, everyone in that group is fabulous. But ultimately, they give us an opinion and the town voters decide and the town board decides whether or not it's something that's allowable. It's very rare that they'll be like, no, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even when the church came for money at one point, he was like, good luck, you know, but no, you can do it, and we couldn't get bonded. So he knew full well, but we would've tried.
Right.
That's the one way a long time ago.
That was the
right?
first
Yeah.
time around, yeah.
And I don't wanna hog it, but I have one more unless somebody else has found.
No, go ahead.
Okay, it was almost the last paragraph, second to the end. I think a better word instead of allocation of CPC funds is the, estimated revenue that we have to appropriate. That's what that is all about, the 10, 10, 10, 60. So Treasurer Worth brought up fiscal year 26, it should be, instead of allocation, estimated local revenue. Appropriate, it's in the,
I'm missing that page.
second page,
No, I only have these two.
Yeah, that's the one.
right here.
Oh, it looks
Oh,
different over
yeah,
there.
well, I printed it out at home.
Oh, you do, okay, I thought it was the third, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
so does that
that's
make
good.
sense to you, Leanne?
So what's the wording you would like to replace here for allocation?
It is appropriate the estimated local revenue, but it's in the warrant the right way. I mean, it is being allocated in essence, but I think that's the wording that we should use.
It should probably be appropriating CPA funds,
Yeah.
cause it's not CPC funds, it's
Right.
CPA funds.
And like I said, the warrant
I'll send
is,
you, don't
has
worry
the
about
right
trying to
word,
correct this.
so.
I'll send you
Just to get
corrections.
our, otherwise, it's a lot of information, it looks great, the numbers look great for the big project and stuff, so.
Couple of quick nitpicks here, on the first full paragraph. I think it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th line. It says, in addition to the building instead of B building,
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
Yeah, I see,
To the
yeah,
building.
you're right, it is to the,
And then on the next page, the third, well, it's the third paragraph there, where it says, motion was made, so just repeat it. Just take the was made up. Other than that, it looks wonderful. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
doing the, for
no
doing
one
this
could
here.
say that we're hiding anything when they have to read these minutes. Okay, so anyway, I will also send you like the changes that I wrote down just in case.
Okay.
So do we have to make a motion to accept the changes as presented?
I think we do, don't we?
Who would like to make
Or
a
as
motion?
I will
amended.
make a motion to accept the words as presented.
I'll second that,
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alright, so then, look at us just clicking right along here, peeps. The next one up would be the finalizing the wording for the town meeting warrant articles, which I did look at it, y'all got a copy of this, or did you not get a copy of
I
this?
did not get a copy. That's okay.
Your chair just kinda sucks. There you go.
I begged to have them.
Oh, that could be
okay. Nope,
agendas.
that's an agenda.
This would be them.
Thank you.
Anybody else need it? Do you need the warrant? Copy of the warrant. Do you have several?
Yeah, I
I
sent
have
down
several
multiple.
copies, I just need
Alright,
one.
anybody else? You have
No, I
that?
don't.
You have a copy? There we go. Is Leanne happy?
Yes, thank you.
Mary, do you need one?
No, I haven't,
Okay.
that's the same as last time.
Pretty much, it's just changing the figures. Well, the article.
No, I thought I could.
So are we discussing this right now, then?
Yep, can we pass this one down to Mary, just cause I
Oh,
don't think
sure.
she has one.
There you go.
Thank you.
Obviously, we wouldn't
Oh,
know
I
the
do
article
have it.
numbers, but.
Yeah, let's just check our numbers. We're paying off the last 505, 30,630. Though I'll show you something later where, you know, that you have to be precise, otherwise it gets the records wrong. And then in the second article, we don't know what it's eventually gonna be. See the word there? 'Cause I was flummoxed with the words. you
Which
know,
word?
Rehabilitation. In
That's-
other words, when I asked you for a copy of Stuart's letter,
Mhm.
and he said rehabilitate, then it all fell into place.
Oh, good.
Because that's an accepted, use. Also, they just redid the historic,
Nice.
chart, so everybody gets to bring one home,
Mhm.
so.
Sorry.
Anyway,
That's
so,
okay, I had it.
so other than that, my only suggestion too on the, estimates, we have been very conservative the last couple of years, and which was smart, cause
Mhm.
it's a pain when you overestimate. It was a nightmare that happened one year. And I'm thinking this next year, we might be able to nudge it up maybe by $5,000-$10,000, like,
I would stay with where we're at,
oh, for now,
Yeah.
let's. But Kelly, even a couple years back, she said, I think you could nudge it up to 110. And I thought, no, not, let's be
Slow and
safe.
steady will raise, we'll
Though it
raise.
does affect then the, state match, but I have a short thing on that later. But other than that, is this ready to go? Should I PDF it and send it to Leanne, or?
You can send it to Leanne and then she can send it
do
over to.
Yeah, on to the, town.
Warrant applications, yeah.
And if they have any, things, sure, change it, but basically this is it.
No, the wording should just mimic what we've done in the past.
Yeah,
And the
it's
monies,
pretty
we actually, at the last meeting, approved the
approved it
figures and
technically,
and
right.
exactly what funds it was
Right.
gonna come out of, so
Right.
we're good there.
So I think we've got that.
So yay. And
Finalization, do we have to vote on it again or not?
I don't think so.
I
I
don't
think,
think
I
so.
mean, I think,
Nothing's changed,
no,
right?
no, and we didn't change any amounts, we didn't add any projects, so.
Yeah, but here is an email from January 29, 2024, and Kelly's saying, I would estimate 110, well, and I'm thinking, no, let's, so I think we're good for now.
Yep. I think we're fine. And then I do have a matter that I hadn't anticipated, so, and I wrote it down so I'd remember. I got an email from Mel, the town clerk today, about the invoice for the legal ad for the hearing.
Okay,
So that should come out of the
Admin.
CPC administrative fund,
Right.
so that's, how did we handle that last year?
I don't know, you're talking about the meeting we had in June, the last one that we
Right, but we had one prior to that, the year prior to that, we also had a hearing.
And so is that invoice?
No, that's for
This
this,
is the most
for this
recent.
year, yeah.
Yeah, I think somebody else picked it up somehow,
Well,
'cause
that's
I
nice of
remember,
them.
but it's certainly, that's what admin is for.
Right, so you may get an email from either the treasurer or from Mel saying, hey, we're gonna take this out of the administrative fund,
Okay, and if they need an actual
warrant
voucher
signed or whatever.
or,
Yeah.
then fine.
Okay.
Okay, at least I'll know what it's about. I thought that was,
Yeah, I just got the email this morning and I was like,
Right.
oh, yeah, that is a good
And
question.
it's not that much money, probably what, a couple $100 or something?
Legal's probably $200, somewhere around there,
That was just for the newspaper, right?
It depends on how far in advance you submit.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, all right, so that's coming.
Yep.
And the next year we need to think ahead, I guess. I don't know.
Well, we'll just probably go through the same thing next year
Oh, but
too.
we're following the rules, aren't we wonderful?
we are.
Okay.
Alright, so, yeah, that's all I have. Did anyone else have anything that they need to share, get off their chest? That's gonna take less than 20 minutes.
Ah, Anybody else before this is easy, this is so easy, but as I said, on the website, they have updated their historic flow chart. And I thought it would be helpful if as committee members, we all know what Hubbardston's assets are. So I got the MHC and made a copy, and then there's 3 sheets, and one of them has the keys. And on the ones that we have from Hubbardston, some of them have a preservation restriction, some of them are National Register District, and some of them are National Register Individual Property. And when you read this chart, you're gonna see how important that kind of thing is. Is it on the registry, blah, 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 and then it keeps going in a positive way from there. So I just, maybe keep this in a CPC folder, because they just, and I thought, oh, the historical one was just updated, how lovely. So,
We need a couple of copies of this.
I handed it off. Yep.
there we go.
Thank you.
Francois, did everybody get one?
Yeah,
I
thank you.
got one, thank you.
Okay, so, look at the chart, it's just, they try so hard to make it clear. And so, and my thing here was, will the funds be, it's the third bubble down on the left, will the funds be spent on one of the following actions? And the word that fit us for the library was not, we're not acquiring, we're not exactly preserving, we're not exactly restoring, but we are rehabilitating. So there it is, and I think a chart like this comes in very, very helpful. As far as, we have 6 properties, the parish church, the Reverend Samuel Gay House, the library, the town historic district, rural Glen Cemetery, and Williamsville Chapel. Though that only has a preservation restriction, but doesn't have any of the other registrations. So it's just kind of interesting, so that we're an informed group. And then people, of course, when they submit stuff, they have to do their homework, but this is a way that we're sure we don't have to go look it up, because annually, MHC puts out a thick hard copy of every town's assets.
And this, you do, I mean, it is better if you're on
On
the
the
National
register?
Historic,
Oh, yeah.
but a local historic district could also deem something historic, so that's, that one
Yes.
thing,
That, right here, so
Right,
you can
so-
see, yes, no, and has your local historical
because that
commission-
came up with,
Evangelical church, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cause.
because it's not, it wasn't on any register, but the
right.
local historic
So-
commission said it would.
But still, as you go through the flow
Mhm.
chart, it was, so stuff like this is so helpful. My second little thing, and I won't take long, we'll be out of here, the state match.
Oh, I did see the email on that.
And here again, the website is so helpful. This is the local surcharge is in one column, the, funds from the state, the percentage, and the total. So you can just go to the website and it's so helpful. This last year, the percentage from the state was 1806. This year, it's 15.9, so it's gonna be a little bit less, but it's still something.
Right.
And, so that's the state match, and you can look it up. And last but not least, yeah, I said last, I'm not gonna keep you here all night, is this, and this might be helpful to us as we think to the future. Because as we all know, the church is, I
I'm
don't
on
know,
that committee.
what is the status on that? Is it relevant to us at this point?
At this point, it's not relevant to us.
Okay, all right, we
I
won't
mean,
worry
not
about it.
yet.
No,
Well, it's just.
It will soon be.
it could well be at some point in the future.
Yeah, so we need to, everything's happening at once, we have so many big projects going on.
Yeah.
But they're getting done,
Mhm.
and, okay, so this is for me, this is for you. This is
No worries.
for you, Francois. This is for you. This is for Mary.
So I think that-
Okay, did everybody get one of these?
There's only one two-page thing, right, or is there multiple?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Where should we start? Let's take the general ledger history allocated summary general ledger. And if you look down, 1, 2, 3, the fourth box down, and you see playground band, does anybody know what band stands for? I bet Francois does. Bond something, note, bond,
Oh, there it is.
yeah, bond, you're counting that it's gonna, in other words, it's a loan.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, look at that number, and then say to yourself, what was the warrant number that we just put in? It's the exact same number. It can't be. So somehow, fiscal year 2024, if you look at the chart, should have been,
You know how it could have happened?
how?
When we just plopped the new item down on the other warrant.
When we what?
When we just replaced the warrant with the new item.
Oh, well, because that messes, Kelly up too, because if she actually, she goes to the whatever big pot it is to get the money out, and if she's already gotten out 30,630, that's for this year. So, it's just a question of, last year's was 31,260, and that's why I like this format, if you have a loan, cause you can see the whole thing. So, I texted Kelly about it and I gave a call, but I will be sure to follow up on this. I think it's a simple bookkeeping, she jumped a column or somebody did. But the warrant this year is for the last payment of 30,630. And so the one, you do fiscal year 25 and 24, and we're doing 26 and 25. So this is, in essence, the proof, if you will. I just went back to the 22 town report. And I said, okay, wait a minute, let's be sure we're doing this right. And other than that, you can take this home if you wanna study it. This is the most recent, these are the most recent buckets. What it boils down to after we, pay our debt and our library historic, 10 out of historic, right? And 30,710 out of undesignated reserve. this was, I'll just come up with the ending balances, and if you wanna take this home and put it under your pillow, I hope it all makes sense. There are 4 columns, of course. The open space is 51,077. When we take the 10 out of the historic, which is the second column or across, 10 out of basically 16 leaves us 6,000. In the community housing, we're slowly building it up, and I hope we can use it towards something at some point, even though that looks like peanuts, it might be able to help in the housing somehow. So the housing is currently, the money that can be allocated still is 42,766. When we get to the undesignated reserve, it was 140,199, but we had to add the debt and the library money and deduct that, and we're left with 78,860. So the undesignated reserve got chopped into, but that's what it's for, right? And thank goodness, we are out of debt, and unfortunately, there was a crossover of the loans for 3 years, so we were straddled. For 3 years, we had to automatically pay 50,000 plus out to get caught up, but we're all caught up, so that's the good news. And out of admin, basically from 5,000, we deduct the coalition website, the dues to the coalition, and the 500, which is too much money, but, and that leaves us with 4,200 until we pay this other bill.
Right. And the 500 is for the beginning of the year through July, I wanna say, so we'll
Okay,
have to
so it's a
revisit.
start, and let's
Yep.
see how we go, but just, and any monies that we don't spend in admin, of course, go back to the undesignated reserve, which to me is best practice, but I'm not gonna make a big deal of it, cause this is a good thing to
Yep,
have
it
someone
is.
keeping us organized.
Okay, great, thank you for all the information. And I believe.
Oh, and there's so much more where that came from.
But not tonight.
I promise.
Does anyone have anything else that they need to discuss? Oh, I do have to discuss one thing before I have to move to adjourn it. And this actually directly replies to you. If you could, not immediately, doesn't have to be done by next Tuesday, but if you could, go on the town website and look to see how many minutes we have versus how many minutes we should have, that would give me a good idea of where we need to start going back in emails and trying to find those minutes.
yeah.
Because I don't think they're posted, and I'm not sure.
Yeah, all the town reports are posted, except, stop, that's my sister. I'm sorry, except for the 1 year when our administrative assistant person, for some reason, didn't get it in there.
Yeah. But yes, that's just like a quick, you know.
But
Yep.
the town clerk is the one that posts those things,
Yes, right, but she has to get them first.
Right,
And
she has to have them to post them.
And I think there's been like 2 or 3
Right,
town clerks
right,
lately, so
right.
I think our meetings only go up to March 19th, 2024.
That would be the ones I caught up on. Those are the ones that I went over and I sent it to Mel. Cause Mel's only been in that role for,
9 months.
yeah, so I mean.
that's-
But we
all
didn't
we
have a
have
lot
here.
of meetings
We
either,
didn't, but we still have,
so-
I'm sure there's more minutes than that, so like if you could just like
Yeah.
look at the calendar, then look at, some of them would have ended up being, we didn't get quorums, we didn't have.
Yep.
But they
And
were-
again, it's not like something you have to like drop everything and run and do, but
But the meeting would have been posted, right?
the meeting would have been posted.
So you can try to circle back somehow,
Yeah.
maybe, perhaps.
Alright, so now, do we feel like there's anything else we need to discuss?
There's nothing for special town meeting that we know of at this point?
No, one special town meeting.
It's
They're
the
the same
annual
day?
town meeting.
No, I know, but I'm thinking beyond that. Annual town meeting is just our 3 warrants, right? The
Right.
The
library
other one is
thing,
not until October usually.
right, so.
Yeah, so no, if there was anything else that had to go on
So
there,
we
we'd have
really-
had an application, so
Okay,
we're good
right.
there.
Okay.
So who would like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion that we
I'll
adjourn,
second it.
this meeting.
Lovely, and all in favor?
Okay?
Aye.
Aye.